Welcome everyone. We are in Punta Ala, Tuscany. It's an incredible day, although it's almost Christmas, and we're here to talk about the new Dufour 470. For this series, Yes and No, we always have a representative of the shipyard to compare the boat on 5 key points. In this case, Micaela Bravo, who works for Race Nautica and Giovanni Tarantino. Race Nautica is the second largest importer of Dufours in the entire world. So without further ado, let's go meet Micaela and talk about the Dufour 470. Hello, Micaela.
Hello, Gabriel.
Okay.
Welcome back.
So this is Micaela Bravo of Race Nautica.
Yes.
I said that you're the second largest Dufour dealership in the world. Is that correct?
Yeah. This summer we have been awarded with the Silver Award.
Oh, okay.
So it means that in the world we are the second dealer who sells the most number of Dufour.
And you work for Race Nautica, and the head is Giovanni Tarantino,
yes,
right?
Of course.
Okay, so of course you know a lot about Dufours, so we're going to go directly to the first point. What is the first strong point that you want to talk about?
Okay, so we are on the new model of Dufour, the 470, sorry. And as you can see, we have a very big cockpit. And one of the most innovation on this model that you can see, it is the step that allows the person who are in the cockpit moving easily on the boat.
Yeah, and that is indeed an innovation. It came out with a new generation of Dufours. Of course, before you had to sort of step on the bench to get to the side decks. Now you have the step, so of course it's much more comfortable. Now, if I have to think of another boat, well, the obvious comparison would be with the Yes&No series because what they have, the new Yes&Nos, is actually a ramp that goes up, so you don't have to even to step. You just walk up the ramp, and so that's even more comfortable, I could say. What would you say to that?
Yes, more or less, because you have to think you are sailing and there is the waves that comes on the boat, and the water goes in the cockpit, so
okay, so you're saying in heavy seas it's less protected.
Yeah.
Okay.
And moreover, also the space inside the forward cabin is more stricter, because here we have the cabin with the ceiling at the same height, so it's very comfortable having the cabin.
Yeah. Okay, because you don't have the ramp, the ceiling of the cabin stays at the same height. Whereas with the ramp, it's more convenient or comfortable when you have to go up, but you do lose some space.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go talk about point number 2. Okay, so point number 2.
So the point number 2, it is the boom and the position of the boom, because as you can see, Gabriel, here in this position, the boom is quite lower.
Yeah.
And going towards the cockpit, it goes higher.
Yeah, and that is a bit unusual. I mean, high there and low here.
Yeah.
And why did you do that?
Dufour decided to do that because we can work very easily on the mainsail and also for opening the lazy bag.
Yeah, and there's a trend towards very high booms nowadays. In fact, I could think of the Oceanus 46.1, which has this arch on which there's only a block and to which the main sheet is attached. Now, the advantage of that, of course, is that you get everything out of the way. You can have almost like a sun deck. I mean, you can have lots of space that is not occupied by the main sheet traveler and the main sheet and so on. So why did you opt instead for this solution?
Okay, for this solution, Dufour thought on 3 configuration of the boat and sailing plan. So we have the easy version, we have only the 2 winches on the Cummings, but we don't have the mainsail traveler.
Okay, so in that case, it would be more like the Oceanus, more space on the coach roof.
Yes.
Okay, but this version is the Ocean,
the
right?
Ocean, yes.
Okay, so it's more performance-oriented in a way.
Yeah, because the customer Dufour likes cruising, but also sailing.
Okay, okay. And then, you told me there's also the performance version, in which case the main sheet traveler is in the cockpit, right?
Yes, there is a lock. We lose the cockpit table and also the 2B minis, because with the lock in the middle of the cockpit, the table it is not so comfortable.
So the main sheet traveler is in the cockpit. Okay, great. Point number 3.
point number 3, Gabriel, is the chine of the boat that gives a lot of space on the bow cabin.
Yes. Okay, but I must say that in fact, as our viewers may remember, is very common in contemporary boats. The one came out in the last few years because, you know, it's a little trick to get more room up front. You have the hull starting narrow in the water, and then it flares up and then goes almost straight on. And one example would be the Oceanus 46.1, which has this very sharp angle. This chine goes all the way from the bow to the stern. So what's the difference in the case of the Dufour 470?
On the Dufour, in general speaking, we have the rounded shape, so when there is heavy seas, the bows doesn't slamming on the waves.
Okay, so basically, actually you can see that when you look at the boat from the outside. It is a chine, but it's not like a sharp angle, but it's more rounded. And you're saying there's a navigation advantage?
Yes.
Okay, great. How about point number 4?
Okay.
Let's do that. We're now at the stern of the boat, and we're not actually standing on water. We have lowered the basing platform, good idea, to talk about point number 4, which is?
Okay, so one of the most beautiful things on the Dufour, it is the outside kitchen.
Yeah, so which is right under here.
Yes, so let's open it. So as you can see here, we have a barbecue.
Yes.
And here a sink. So people who are in the cockpit, people who are here cooking, they can enjoy this set.
Yeah, I must say this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the possibility of cooking on deck and having the people, your friends sitting there, and you can talk instead of being down inside the boat. Absolutely amazing. There is one thing. You have this seat, and it's compared to the Oceanus 46.1, it's a bit in the way. I mean, they have an open stern. You can go access directly the basing platform. So perhaps in terms of swimming, that's a bit more fun. What do you think?
I think that also on the Dufour 17 we can have fun because we have 2 access on the bathing platform.
Yeah, because this one opens up too.
Yeah, okay. And also up front here you can add a sunbed. Like on the Dufour 530. Okay,
so you have some people bathing, some people catching the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go to point number 5.
Let's go.
We are finally inside the Dufour 470. We saw the outer galley, which is very neat. I liked it a lot. And you wanted to talk about the inner galley. That's point number 5 for you.
Yes, Gabriel. As you can see, the kitchen is in a transversal position, and this means that we have a very large dinette with a lot of space where to store things. We have a very big fridge because it is about 165 liters.
Which is located?
Over there.
Right.
And then we have 2 sinks with freshwater faucet and seawater faucet, another freezer that is an optional, and a 3-stove kitchen. We have a lot of lights inside, as you can see, and we have an
this hatch, right?
Yeah,
this opening.
That you can open while you're
I was thinking that if you're cooking, it's very useful to have that opening. Okay, the comparison that comes to mind is again with the Oceanus 46.1. They have a different solution. The galley is on more traditionally on this side of the boat. Very large galley, lots of space for cooking. So why did you Dufour opt for this solution instead?
This is a design decision made by Felci, and we are in the most stable position of the boat, and moreover we have a lot of sofa in the dinette.
Okay, so you free up space and you can have an extra sofa.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
And also the volume, the inner volume of the bathroom is larger than the competitors.
Okay, I get that. Well, thank you, Micaela, and thank Race Nautica for doing this episode of Yes and No with us. That's about it. Now you know, if somebody says he or she is seasick, go cook. This is the best spot. Having said that, that's about it. Please let us know if you liked the video by clicking on like. The appointment is to the next episode of Yes and No.